So welcome everyone to Gemalto's third Ask the Experts webinar for 2016. My name is Ariella Shoham and I am the Senior Director of Marketing for Gemalto's Software Monetization Business Unit, and I will be your host today. For those of you who are new to this program, Ask the Experts is Gemalto's quarterly webinar series where we share industry best practices in the world of software monetization. In our previous session last quarter, we discussed how cloud and virtualization are expediting the adoption of software-based business models for device vendors as a whole, and this session will dive deeper into a vertical within the device vendor market, manufacturers of medical devices. We will look at how the high cost of medical equipment, shorter replacement cycles, and the need to keep capital expenditure low has led to a rise in adoption of flexible usage-based business models within this industry. With me today are Michael Azoff, Principal Analyst of Ovum, and Amit Stutman, Web and E-Commerce Platform Manager at Cenarion Candela. Before we start, I would like to draw your attention to the questions window on the webinar control panel. It's down the bottom right-hand side. You're all on mute, but please feel free to submit your questions anytime throughout the webinar, and I will be moderating them and submitting them to the speakers towards the end of the webinar. We're ready to begin. I'm going to pass presentation rights over to you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Ariella, and welcome everybody. As Ariella said, I'm Principal Analyst at Ovum. If you've not heard of Ovum, we are IT industry analysts. So just to check that you can see my screen.
We can see a black screen. We saw
okay,
your... Okay, now we see the slide. Sort of, now we do see...
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's get started. So thanks again for listening, and I'm going to talk about pretty much a revolution that's taking place in the market today. So I'll provide a little overview of the trends, and specifically at looking at AI, because I think this is one of the biggest IT waves that's going to hit every industry, including the medical instruments industry. And then we'll look at how we can meet those challenges and some of these new business models that is very much at the heart of Gemalto. So Mark Andreessen, software is eating the world, he said that in 2011, but this is even truer today. The trend towards software-centric products in every industry, and the pressure is coming out of the unicorns out of Silicon Valley, those billion-plus valued startups, and some of the ones that have got to the top, like Uber, the largest taxi company that owns no taxis, Airbnb, the largest hotel company that owns no hotels, Facebook, the largest media company that does not own its content. So huge disruption coming out of that sector. We are in a, as this slide shows, the pre-industrial revolution, 0 lines of code, and today we have scanners with 7 million lines of code. Industrial revolution number 4, so steam, electricity, internet and computing number 3, and we're going to see AI and software completely revolutionize products as we go forward. And this shows you software is increasing in products over time. Not at the Google, all of Google is estimated as 2 billion, huge amount of software, but you look at a high-end vehicle today that's 100 million lines of code, and there's going to be more code going into medical instruments because of the trends with AI. So how do you build software for that in modern economy? Most organizations are in that mode of waterfall and agile, and they're introducing DevOps, so multi-speed environments, but to compete against the unicorns coming out of Silicon Valley, you're going to need to be agile in your dev, in your DevOps with ops throughout your business. You're going to need to change your architecture to microservices and containers, serverless computing, everything as a service, and then roll all of that together, and you'll be at cloud native. And the issue for every company, including the medical instruments industry, is that the unicorns coming out of Silicon Valley are cloud native from day one. That is the pressure. So and technology is now the business. Whether you look at autonomous vehicles, which are computers with wheels on, wherever you look, software is the core of the investment, the core of the differentiation between one product and another. There's going to be a race for talent. The picture that you see there is a development environment, believe it or not, and the revenue that's spent on software, whereas in the past it was considered to be a cost, it is now the business, and we see the typical unicorn spending a lot more on their research and development. So a lot of changes, a lot of cultural changes especially. So Ovum ran a survey of key industry players to look at what was their views of the market, and healthcare, as you can see, was rated as the #1 that was ready for disruption. And as I mentioned earlier, AI we see as being one of these key drivers for change. We have robots that can now perform as well as human surgeons, and we're going to see a lot more of that. And of course there is surgery that's done remotely with automation, so amazing things happening on that front. From an AI point of view, the win of DeepMind AlphaGo, DeepMind now owned by Google, this March this year they had a tournament against the world's best Go player. It's an ancient Chinese Japanese game. You cannot play this game from a computer algorithm point of view. You cannot use brute force to come up with the best move like you can with chess. You have to play this game algorithmically, you have to have human-like skills, and they use deep learning to do that, and they beat the world's best player. And this is a milestone in human history as well as computing. So the pivotal aspect of deep learning is they have huge hundreds of thousands of neurons. They use very novel type of neural nets within those structures, such as convolutional neural nets. But the third aspect is the acceleration from hardware. So GPUs are now at the root of every deep learning system that is on the market, and NVIDIA is a market leader in that space at the moment. I'm here actually in Amsterdam at NVIDIA's a GPU event, and they've just announced the Javier, which is their new chip, will come out in 2017. It's a system-on-chip AI supercomputer. So a lot of things happening that's going to happen in the next year, and this is a $1 million industry that's going to turn into a $1 billion industry, no doubt even more. But from a $1 billion point of view, that's going to attract a lot of new players, and we see activity. So this space is going to become very, very competitive from a hardware point of view, supporting the AI. So you're going to see AI chips in medical instruments to support the AI that's used in them. So if you remember Star Trek and the tricorder, there's a nice competition from Qualcomm to actually create this device. Very science fiction, but this is now reality, and no doubt AI will play a part in that. Healthcare, we see that as a huge opportunity for AI and robots, especially with aging populations throughout the developed economies, especially in Japan. They call it the silver tsunami, and the use of robots for helping infirm people. That's a huge opportunity there, and a lot of disruptions, whether it's providing aid in remote locations with drones, digital assistance, lots of activities from startups drug discovery, assisting doctors, for example, providing them with the latest research that's targeting the doctor's needs. Doctors don't have enough time in their day to go through the latest research, so medical assistants, for example, are a big opportunity there. So we see a lot of disruption also from IoT, and that's providing a closed loop so that it's possible to bring back data, performance data, issues to do with performance, as well as usage, so we'll talk about that later. But being able to evolve products much faster, and being able to make updates on the air, as Tesla Motors, for example, they so much of their innovation is done through software updates over the air. So we'll see that model increasingly with medical instruments. So let's talk about the medical equipment market. As you can see, it's very broad. There's a lot of automation in a lot of different aspects of the medical equipment market. We see that as growing from these estimates by a third in the next 4 to 5 years. The question then is from a manufacturer point of view, what is the best way to monetize that market, that opportunity? The addressable market is ideally for that embedded software, and that software is including with computers embedded with running full-scale applications, right? So the nature of embedded software is changing, and the opportunity, especially for those high-cost devices, this is really where the manufacturers should be looking to monetize their investment in this new world. So data, we mentioned the data that's coming through the IoT, the connections and the analytics and performance, but also being able to understand how the user is making use of the device, how they're accessing it, which features they are using, and this all helps to create the next generation of product, and very often you can make those changes over the air. So a lot of new possibilities there. But for the users, the costs are high, and the product life cycles, because of rapid evolution and competition, are changing. So these are big challenges for the manufacturers, and they need new business models to address these challenges. So as I mentioned, embedded software engineers today are writing full-scale applications, and the software is that most expensive component. This is where the investment is going in, and especially when more use is made of AI. So the manufacturers will be looking at how to protect their intellectual property, and how to look at different licensing models. So perpetual requires an upfront payment. Pay-per-use has the advantages of a rolling model of expenditure for the users, and it's possible then to generate revenue based on actual usage. So there are advantages both for the consumer of these products and also for the manufacturers. So the key technologies that you will be wanting to look at is licensing and entitle management, security, protecting your investment, protecting your intellectual property, and making good use of analytics, understanding how the product is being used, and helping you to improve and create better products going forward. So I'll wrap up. As I mentioned, there are huge disruptive forces in the new economy. AI is going to be the biggest change we have ever seen. And this is not science fiction AI. I'm not talking about artificial general intelligence, which is, I believe it will happen, but it's further down the line. I'm talking about technology that is available today, and it will incrementally improve in the next decade. So this is the near-term future where AI will have a huge impact. Software is at the heart of it. This AI is all implemented, for example, as software. And so you will want to protect your investments. You will want to look at flexible business models. So that's where I finish, and I'll hand back to Ariella. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Michael. So I'm going to hand it over to Amit, who actually is a device vendor and has actually gone, or the company Sentinel and Candela has already started going through this transformation from a one-time sell to a pay-per sell. So I'm handing this over to you, Amit.
Thank you very much, Ariella. You see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so thank you again, Ariella, and to give me the opportunity today to talk about how Sentinel and Candela implement the Gemalto software and hardware in our system. So I'm going to talk today about the security control of Sentinel and Candela by the paper pulse system. It's like Michael mentioned before, the paper use, we call it paper pulse. So let's go ahead. So our agenda for today, I'm going to talk about Sentinel and Candela. This is the company that I'm working for, and our definitions of need. I will talk about the pay-per-pulse business model, how we develop development and implement this module, the result, and what we are going to do with our next steps. So Sentinel and Candela is actually a medical aesthetic manufacturer. We are manufacturing lasers, IPL, RF, and other systems for facial treatment, hair removal, body shaping, and more. Some of them are invasive product, and some are not. We are holding the 29 of the global market share. We have 12 direct offices. The rest is a distributor over 90 countries over the world. Our annual revenue is 280 million, depends on the quarter. And we have 800 employees globally. And Sentinel and Candela is making people beautiful, as you can see in the picture. You can think that I'm all the days around the module. So we are making people beautiful, of course, and more confident. And but as you can see here, there is before they are getting very pretty and become a module. There is the before. So you can see some a picture about the before and the after. You can see here the successfully a treatment to remove the tattoo, hair removal, and fat removed, and some I don't know how to call it, but we remove it. So the definitions of our need. First of all, we are talking today about the Watership and the Watership Power. That this is a complete solution for non-invasive body shaping. It's the result you can see very quickly and very safely and very comfortable for the patient. You can see here a before and after a picture. It's really working. So stop going to the gym and go take an Watership treatment. It's working. And here we can see the on the right side the Watership system, and on the left side the Watership Power system. This is the next generation. So our changes was to move from old business model, from selling hardware like physical consumables, to selling service as the PPP software. We need to support both hardware business model and new software model because we already have in the field some systems that don't sell with the PPP model. We need to ensure secure code generation, secure usage, and unique user identifier. Easy to implement and use for the end users and for admin team, of course. Easy to maintain and troubleshoot. So we look for the company that give us all those solutions and fit for the challenges We search here, we search there, and finally we find ta-da-da-ta-da, Gemalto. So we implemented Gemalto. So what is our business, the PPP business model? We have the Watership system that you can see here in the middle. We have here the dongle. Again, this is a hardware from Gemalto. It looks like a USB key, but we added a tile because this is too small and it can get lost. So on this tile, we are printed the code, unique ID code of the dongle. And here we can see the software that the customer can purchase. I will talk about it in a minute. So, and for USA, we need to add for the system that was on the field the PPP compatibility. And the main concern was, first of all, security, because it's software and you know, some hackers can break the system software. So the concern was in the hardware aspect, the software aspect, and how e-commerce can support all of this business. So what we did on the hardware side, we have the dongle with the unique key. We have a dedicated server from Gemalto hosted here in our offices that this server generates the codes. On the software side, we have the code encryption. On the machine side, we have a software that the system is work with, and all the software in the system are protected by the envelope that Gemalto is provide. If you don't have one, buy one because it's very cool and secure tool. And we have the machine activation per PPP status that the customer can see on the machine the status of the PPP if you need to order or something else. And of course, you can see some alerts and monitor everything on the system. And also, we build the e-commerce platform that the customer can purchase PPP with the ability to download the file, or purchase a dongle with a preload PPP that we need to send to him by mail, FedEx, or something else. So the development and the implementation was this route. On the area of the 14, we start the project. On August 14, we go live, actually with a very short of development. On May 15, we found some requests from the field that user have Mac and not Windows, and until that point we only support Mac computers. So thanks for the Gemalto developers team, we build a Mac solution for those files, and we were the first company that uses this solution. On February 16, we go out with the next generation of Watership Power. I will talk about it later. So, and we build the e-commerce. So the customer is looking to our e-commerce. He can choose to download files for Windows or for Mac, or send to request a preloaded dongle. So let's try to select the Windows file. We select it. Now we need the customer need to type in his unique ID of the dongle. Type it in. Go to the checkout. In the checkout, you need to do the payment, do everything that you need, and place the order. At that point, on the back office, there is the order is sent to Salesforce and Oracle, because we are fully integrated with Oracle and Salesforce. So the order is there for logistic staff or to finance staff. So it goes there, and there is a request for Gemalto server to generate the file. So it took something like 20-30 minutes until the file is baked and ready to download. And when it downloads, we are sending notification for the customer that the file is ready, and he can download the file or run it. He can go to his history order and download the file here, or go to the direct link from his mail. He download the file. He go to his system and plug out the dongle, plug it into his computer, and run the file. Once you run the file, there is an interface of Gemalto that runs, and you need to click on the apply updates, getting successfully a message, and you can take out again the dongle from the computer, return it to the system, and continue working. So it's very easy, very fast. So what is our result? We are successfully launched in US over 300 systems, all in US. Some of them we need to update to the PPP module, and some of them as a new one. The average quarterly transition was over $1 million, and the main purchase code and not dongle. So the meaning is that the customer like more software. Again, as Michael said before, the software is the new king, and from the other aspect, I think that the doctor, they remember on the last minute when the patient is on the bed and he said, "Oops, there is no PPP for me on the system, and I need to run and purchase it." So he preferred to download the file for a minute instead of waiting a few days for shipment with the dongle shipment. So what is our next step? So as I said before, we implement the Watership Power. The Watership Power have Wi-Fi capability. So we have IoT that I will talk about it in the next. Since we have Wi-Fi, they can download the PPP from the system and not need to plug out the dongle and run it from the computer. So it's more faster. And of course, we have the IoT. We can update the software. We can track everything that the customer is doing. We are know more about the issue that they have, so it's very good. And as a company, we are choosing to work with the PPP modules for all the other product line that we are going to develop. And that's it. So back to you, Ariella. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amit. I'm gonna stay with you because I have a couple of questions that I see, and one of them is for you. I think maybe beauty cosmetology isn't so traditional, but still the question is about you made that shift from I guess a traditional selling device type of model to a what you're doing, paper scan, paper pulse. So can you tell us a bit about how your company decided to do that? Was it an internal decision because of someone just woke up one morning, or what was the decision? How did you make that decision to move to this new business?
Yeah, as every company want to get more money from the customers, and we understand that if we are selling consumables, there is a lot of we need to the revenue from physical things or consumables are less than software, because as you see, the cost of this dongle is something like around $5,000. So, and actually, it's not cost you anything. So the revenue is very big for go with that product. So again, there is a department on Sentinel Candela that they're thinking how to grow the revenue, and of course how to fit our business to the next stage, next steps of worldwide. So of course this team are thinking now very hardly about the IoT stuff, and of course DPP.
Thank you, Amit. I have a question for you, Michael. Can you still hear me?
I can indeed, yes.
So a question towards, you were talking about the shift from an organizational perspective. So Amit gave us the business positioning, but from an organizational perspective, embedded developers are making a shift as well. Can you tell us a bit more about what the organizational requirements are, or what challenges you've seen when you've spoken to companies that have gone through this shift? What are the challenges that they faced, or how are they managing this transformation within their development teams?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a number of sort of issues here. So as there is an increase in software, you get the challenges that is very familiar in enterprise IT, and that is the complexity, the quality of software, testing the software. Those sort of issues have a long tradition in enterprise IT, and increasingly they apply to the engineering, manufacturing, and medical instruments worlds because of the software, clearly. So one of the mature approaches in enterprise IT is called application lifecycle management. So we do see that whereas open source tools now strongly dominate the enterprise IT market, but the management of the software is still an area for ALM, and the biggest growth area for application lifecycle management is the engineering manufacturing world. So we're seeing that recognition that you need to manage the complexity. The other area is around security, and that is a big problem. There's a huge amount of intellectual property that is stolen through hacking. A lot of businesses, they don't even know that their IP is going out of the window. I mean, we just saw the example of the French submarines, that all that information about the really secret information about how those submarines operate was just put out on the internet, and it's shocking how much of this goes on, and companies really do need to secure their software. They need to secure their intellectual property. So that is a growth area of how to protect software, and we'll see a lot more of that. So there are big cultural changes for the businesses. For many, for example, in the automobile industry, the senior executives have been what we call the metal bashers. They come from mechanical engineering backgrounds, and all of a sudden software is now dominating, and it's very difficult for a lot of people who don't have that background. This will clearly change in the years ahead as new generation of engineers who are more software centric take senior positions in the organization. But already we have senior CEOs who understand the change that's taking place, and I mentioned the unicorns out of Silicon Valley because they are really chasing the large traditional players in the market. So these CEOs do have that vision. It is all about culture. Culture is at the root of it. If you can get a culture that is flexible, adaptable, then you can meet these challenges. So it's big changes, but we do see good examples of large organizations that are meeting these challenges.
Thank you. I'm just looking through some other questions, and okay, I have. I think it's a question back to Amit. Amit, are you still with us?
Always.
So there are a couple of questions for you. So one of the questions is, how have the customers received this change, and does the reliance on internet availability pose any sort of hindrance?
But I will start with the first one because I didn't tell well the second one.
Okay.
So
the second one in a minute.
Yeah. Okay. So Actually, the client very like it because we are cut by half the price of the system. Usually, the prices cost more than few cars. So we took off the price of the system, and then they like this because they are paying just for the use and not buying a system and pay a lot of dollars for that, and it just sit in the office. So and they are more understanding the ROI of the system, because they know the cost of the treatment is something like that, and they charge the customer for that. This is the ROI. It's very easy to understand. So they very like it.
And I think
what was the next
and you're answering the same, because another question that was similar to this was, can you elaborate on the ratio of upfront investment for the customer versus purchasing the consumable? And you just said that now.
Yes.
So maybe elaborate.
Yeah. So,
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. And okay, it was good. And I saw on the question that someone asked me if there is Watership in the US, or of course there is. And if we are selling this in Africa, so of course we are. Just log into our website, cineron-candela.com, or search for Watership, and you will have all the answers and address over there.
And one last one before we go. The second part of the first question was, is there a problem with the fact that you rely on the internet availability? Is that a hindrance? Is that preventing anything from happening?
Yes, there is an issue because some of the doctors are working from a basement or something like that, or I don't know, atomic shelter or something similar, and they don't have internet from there. So we have backup. They are using the old way to download the file and load the PPP from the computer.
Okay, so there's a way to support both options, both are connected or disconnected.
Yes.
Great. Okay, I think we've had a nice 40 minutes together, and I don't see any more questions coming up. So I really want to thank both of you. Thank you very much, Amit, for spending the time with us, and thank you, Michael, as well. And thank you, everyone, for attending. We will send a recording to everyone, and hope to meet you again next quarter. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a great evening, great morning. Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, bye.